be the first line. Because there's no easy way to break down that first line. And then it'll be, and the Constitution of the State of Oregon, and you say it, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the district attorney. So we'll try to break it up into sound bites. Do you want to just sign it afterwards? Yeah, you don't need a photo op signing. So, yeah, okay.
And then I'll swear in the deputies and have it written up here.
So you swear them. He's got a couple of clerks back.
Okay. I'm sitting right back in that corner over there. Okay. Just give me a look and then I'll unmute the microphone.
Joining him live, we are waiting.
Okay. Oh, is the microphone muted button back there?
Yes. Ceremony.
Yeah, I'll be right over there. If you just glance over, I'll unmute the microphone.
After that, scheduled for 1 o'clock.
This light will turn.
We're going to carry this live.
Oh, very nice to meet you. I'm excited too. He seems like a great guy. I just met your daughter for the first time. She seems where are you living now? Covered some big mudslides there a while ago. It was back, mid-90s.
For everyone joining us right now, we are awaiting the swearing-in ceremony for Multnomah County DA Nathan Vasquez. What you're seeing right there is everything getting set up. This was scheduled for 1 o'clock, but things seem to be running just a little bit behind. But we're going to go ahead and run with this right here, leading into that ceremony where, again, he will be sworn in as well as a number of deputies. Afterward, there will be a Q&A. And where the media is going to be able to ask some questions, and I believe we have our own Ezra Kaplan down there who will be asking some as well. So we're just going to go with this here, and we expect that ceremony to start here shortly.
By the way, somebody left their bottle up here. If you need this, come get it. There's a few seats in the middle here if anybody doesn't want to stand. If you prefer to stand, that's fine. Welcome to the Oath of Office ceremony for Nathan Vasquez. This is going to be a great day. My name is Pat Doris. I'll be your Master of Ceremonies today. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we really get going. We are live streaming this, and it's being recorded. So there you go. Now you've been warned. Also, we'd like to thank all the law enforcement folks and elected officials who are here and made the time out of this rainy day to come down and celebrate. Also, thank you to Nathan's family and the friends for joining us today. It's a big deal to him, and it's a big deal to all of us. Also, I want to let you know that we have a color guard here from Portland Police and Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. Thank you to them. They will soon be posting the colors. And in a moment, I will ask you to stand if you're able to do that. And then when they say present arms, uniformed personnel and military veterans should render a salute. And civilians are encouraged to please place your hand over your heart. Okay, make sense? Excellent. Here we go. Now that you're ready, please rise.
face. Honor Guard, uniformed personnel, present, arms. Order, arms. Ready, face. Forward, march.
Thank you, Honor Guard. That was very impressive. All right, now we're going to hear, you can sit down. Thank you very much. We're going to hear from a couple of speakers. The first speaker is the First Assistant, Kirsten Snowden.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be standing here today beside this man, Nathan Vasquez. On Monday, he will become our new district attorney for Multnomah County. So congratulations. I've known Nathan for more than 2 decades. We've spent together in this office. I started here in 1998, and he followed as an intern shortly thereafter before officially becoming a deputy district attorney in 2001. And I've watched Nathan evolve, both professionally and personally during that time. I mean, I've literally watched him grow up. We've grown up together in some ways. And what I've seen is a man who has devoted his entire professional career to this office, to the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office. And he will continue to do so in his role as DA. And the reason that Nathan is our next DA is twofold. It's because no one works harder than this man does. And the people that work with him every day see it. I mean, he leads by example. He out-prepares everybody for every trial he's in. The level of thoughtfulness and organization and intentionality that he puts into all of his cases is unmatched. He's also there for people in the office as a mentor, and not because he has to be, not because he supervises them. In some cases, he's not supervising them, but he hears that someone's got a trial, and he leans into that. He offers his help. He offers his IT experience. As I used to say, if the election didn't work out, he could be my AV guy. But most importantly, Nathan I know it sounds cliche, but nobody cares more than this guy does either. It's not just about hard work, but the hard work follows his heart. His heart is truly in this work. He has earned his reputation as an advocate for justice. He is dedicated to upholding the rights of crime victims in our community and to ensuring accountability within the criminal justice system. The citizens of Multnomah County have made a wise choice in electing this faithful, dedicated public servant, and I could not be more excited or more humbled to work with Nathan to make this office a better place to work and to make our community a better place to live. I'm so honored to be here with you, Nathan. Congratulations.
Next up will be the Honorable Judge Eric Bergstrom, who will talk to you, and then he's going to be swearing Nathan in. Here we go.
Well, thank you very much. I too am honored to be here, and I worked in the DA's office for 15 years and then went on to the bench and was there for close to 17 years, and I watched both of these attorneys grow up, and you're going to hear me say a lot of the similar things that Kirsten said. If you had told me when Nathan started in the office that, hey, you know, one day this guy is going to be the district attorney of Multnomah County, I would have said, that guy? Now, it's not because he wasn't smart and hardworking and has good looks and that now salt and pepper, you know, hair that makes him look a little more distinguished rather than boyish, even though he still looks boyish. But he just didn't kind of, I mean, he was very thoughtful, but he was soft-spoken. And I thought, you know, I don't know that I see great trial attorney in him. Because to be a good trial attorney, you got to get up in front of people, you got to convince them that you believe in your case and that your case is righteous. And Nathan just came off as more kind of thoughtful, almost bookish. But he just, as Kirsten said, dove into the job and really worked his ass off. And he did what people do to become good trial attorneys. He tried a lot of cases. He didn't shy away. He worked in hard units. He tried gang cases. He tried murders. And the thing that I noted about him, both in his time in the office when I was with him and then my time on the bench where I did a lot of cases with him, was his dedication to the people in the cases he worked with, for crime victims especially. It got to the point where when we were doing sentencings on big cases like murders, you know, Nathan would be talking on behalf of a victim's family and he'd start to get emotional because he had connected with them so much. And then I'd see him get emotional. I'd be like, God damn it, don't do this again. So I'd start to get a little emotional, and then we couldn't make eye contact, and then it was, you know, really tough to do a sentence. But as I said, he worked really hard to become the really good attorney he became. But what I'm probably most proud of him for is running for office. I mean, there's a lot of good trial attorneys in this room, but it is a whole different thing to kind of see a need in the community, and the need here was to restore the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office's reputation for, you know, integrity, honesty, transparency, and representing crime victims and the people in the community. A lot of people saw the need. Only one guy stepped up and said, I will put my career on the line, my family life on the line. I give Malia a lot of credit because you got to have a partner who says, I'll go along for this ride too, and then, you know, they're in it with you. And running for office is not easy. I mean, you got to raise money. You have people targeting you with negative ads. You got an opponent out there who's not going to play nice. And you really got to put yourself out there. And that's not easy because, you know, you put yourself out there and you get rejected. That's not a good feeling. And it wouldn't have been good for Multnomah County. But thankfully, he put himself out there. He did a great job. And the community responded to his message. And thus, we are all here today. So I couldn't be prouder of you, Nathan. It's just... So like I said, going back all those years, I'm really, really glad you are the guy who became the Multnomah County District Attorney. So with that, let's make it official. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Nathan Vasquez,
I, Nathan Vasquez,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of the District Attorney of Multnomah County,
discharge the duties of the District Attorney of Multnomah County,
according to my best ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
And now Nathan has a few words to share.
As I stand here today, I can't help but think back to 24 years ago, on August 29th of 2000, which was my first day as an intern in the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office. I walked into the courthouse, and this is the old courthouse, a young man full of optimism. While I could have never dreamed on that day that I would eventually have the honor and privilege of leading this office, it didn't take me long to know in my heart that this was my life's calling. It didn't take me long to know that working at the district attorney's office, it's more than a job. It's a duty and a responsibility. I feel so fortunate that each day I get to walk into court and stand up for victims and fight for the safety of the community. Since that first day in August of 2000, I have gotten a little older. Maybe I have a few gray hairs now. It has been a long journey, and that journey from the first day back in 2000 till today is not one I've made alone. And there have been many people whom I owe many thanks. First, of course, are my wife, Malia, my son, Ashton, and my daughter, Cora. The work of this office has meant long hours, 7-day work weeks, and many missed family events. They have shown remarkable patience, understanding, and I am forever grateful. Today is made even more memorable and special to me because we are joined by my parents, Randolph and Elaine Vasquez, my sister Rachel and her family, my Aunt Sandra Johnson, and my Uncle David. My sister and I, my brother, we were blessed to have a family who set an example and instilled in us the importance of hard work and always standing up for the community. This example still inspires me today. My Uncle David, who is here, was a prosecutor for over 10 years and has been an attorney for over 50 years. He still practices to this very day and still does trials. The first time I ever saw a lawyer in court was him arguing a case. His encouragement was instrumental in my decision to attend law school and then go on to be a prosecutor. There are also many, many people in this room who have provided their time, their advice, their support, as I asked the voters of Multnomah County to entrust me in this office. Along with my many thanks, I owe you what I owe every resident of this county, whether they voted for me or not. My pledge is to use all the resources of this office to ensure that our communities are as safe as possible, that offenders are held accountable for their actions, and at the utmost, that victims and their families are heard and treated with humanity and respect. The families of Nikki Ware, the Goodmans, and many more that I have had the distinct honor and privilege of fighting for justice for them and their lost loved ones, I carry in my heart each day. There is one individual who I wish could be here today, and I suspect that the sentiment is shared by many veterans of the DA's office and many community members. And that's the gentleman who was my boss for the first 12 years of my career, Mr. Mike Shrunk. No attorney could ask for a better role model or mentor than Mr. Shrunk, as we always called him in the office. And the lessons that he taught all who were devoted to justice remain my Northern Star. Chief among those lessons was the overarching principle that he repeated time and time again: the duty and the responsibility to do the right thing for the right reasons. As I say those words, I know the people here today that had the privilege of working with Mr. Shrunk can hear him urging all of us to do the right thing for the right reasons. You have my solemn promise that for as long as I am privileged to serve as your district attorney, this office will be dedicated to doing the right thing for the right reasons. We will ensure compassionate accountability and always stand up and fight for victims and for the safety of this community. I also extend my gratitude to Mike Schmidt for his service to the community. Of course, I am fortunate, and the residents of this county are very fortunate, that the District Attorney's Office is blessed with so many dedicated staff members and professionals, attorneys, who are here today. This group shares that commitment to do the right thing for the right reasons. Day in and day out, they promote public safety and ensure justice. In recent years, we have lost some outstanding attorneys. I see a few of them back there. But my pledge is to support the amazing attorneys and staff members we have now and rebuild our ranks and the morale of this outstanding team. But let me be abundantly clear. This office could not do our work without our partners, the partners that keep our community safe every day, the good people that protect and serve. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, the Portland Police Bureau, the Gresham Police Department, and other members of our county's law enforcement community. I ask that please, let's take a moment and give a round of applause and appreciation for all of those that serve us in that capacity. Let me conclude by saying it's no secret that Multnomah County and Portland have gone through some tough times recently. I believe we have started to turn the corner, but much work remains to restore safety and confidence in our cities, county, region, and state. Each of us has a role to play. Every level of government, the business community, every nonprofit, and every individual, each must do our part to end the cruelty and danger of unsheltered houselessness. We must each do our part to reduce gun violence and work on the crimes against people and property. We must each do our part to effectively address the devastating human and community impacts of deadly drugs such as fentanyl. I speak for all of the good people in the DA's office in saying that we will lead and collaborate to not just restore what has been lost in our community, but to ensure that our greatest days lie ahead. And now, it's time to get to work. My first official action as your district attorney, I'd like to invite my deputy district attorneys to stand so that they may publicly take the same oath of office as I did. Please raise your right hand. I state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of Oregon and the laws thereof. And that I will perform the duties of Deputy District Attorney for Multnomah County. According to the law and to the best of my ability. Thank you. You may be seated. And with that, I thank you all for being here and taking time out of your busy days and schedules on this beautiful Portland day. And I wish you all a very prosperous, healthy, and above all, safe New Year. Thank you.
And with that, you can talk again, and there's cake and goodies over here, so mingle and have fun.
You know what, we could do the flags, we could do...
If you're watching us live right now, we're getting over to where Nathan Vasquez is going to be taking some questions from the media. So you're seeing the camera moving around. This is a little behind the scenes of how these things go as they get things set up. So that's what we're waiting for, though, is we are anticipating that he will be taking some questions here shortly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not blocking anybody.
So I guess I'll start.
Sure, go right ahead.
Channel 2. So what's going to be the biggest difference between your service versus your predators?
Well, I think what's most important is the dedication that I'm going to show day in, day out to this community by supporting the great attorneys and staff members of my office and really digging in on public safety here, addressing, the ongoing crisis we have with the dangerous drugs like fentanyl and the open air use, but also really digging in on issues like gun violence and making sure that we are holding people accountable. And then above all is to serve this community each and every day.
That's the number one thing.
I'm going to be here working away every day.
So on Monday we had a little display of stuff. Did you get the result from that you wanted as far as delay? And then you come in, I'm guessing.
I believe that always valuing victims and making sure that the law is followed when it comes to the rights and notifications of victims is paramount. And so yes, I was happy with how the court ruled, and I'm going to carefully look at those petitions and make sure that the voices of victims are heard.
So, Nathan, one of the things that you talked about during the campaign was really cracking down on failure to appear. We've seen that be really an issue in Portland. Do you have any plans right out the gate, to address failure to appear?
Well, it's one thing that I know that we've been working on with our local judges, and we're making some changes, and so it is certainly going to be in the beginning of January as we change that new order, working on that issue. I will be directing my deputies to be issuing failure to appear charges whenever practicable. And then from there, longer-term strategy and plans of working with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office to build up their deputies so that they can do the work of enforcing warrants and really making sure that we are holding people accountable.
And then in terms of working with the county, the deflection program was stood up right at the end of your predecessor's term.
Yeah.
Where do you stand with continuing to work with the county on deflection?
I'm very dedicated to the work. I do think it needs to evolve, and it's something that the chair and I have talked about, is that it needs to continue to evolve to make sure that we are meaningfully connecting people to treatment, that the program's working as intended. And for me, it's vital and critical that this community gets relief from kind of dragged us down a bit, and I want to see us get to that healthy place and help individuals that are suffering from substance abuse disorder get to a really healthy place.
And are you going to continue supporting referrals to the deflection center?
As long as that I am seeing that it is getting people meaningfully connected to treatment, yes. Do I think there may be some changes? Perhaps, but the chair and I will discuss that.
Any changes in the immediate? Are you going to pause anything while you figure all that out, or what's your sense right now?
Well, my sense is that we are just in the early phases. We need to get enough data to make some really intentional decisions about the direction we need to go.
Okay. And then finally, in terms of some of the events that have happened in the nation, in New Orleans with the terrorism attack, does that weigh into what your work here is, and how are you looking at that attack?
Well, I think building up the best public safety system we can, where partners work together so that we can do all we can to help keep this community safe, even from such horrible events like that, is critical and vital. My heart goes out to those families and to that community in New Orleans. That was just a wholly terrible tragedy, and I'm always vigilant and guarding and wanting to make sure that my office is doing all we can to be a part of making this community safe.
It's now illegal to fentanyl or whatever drugs on light rail. Are you going to go after those kind of charges?
Yeah, so we have a very close working relationship with TriMet and the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, who do the enforcement work there. And this new law does come into effect in just a few days, and we will be working closely with them. In fact, I believe I'm scheduled to appear with TriMet when that comes into effect.
So you've been there for a long time. You've been in the DA. Do you have a learning curve that you have to worry about, or are you ready to jump in and get going?
Well, I think there's always learning in life and always opportunities to grow and improve, and I wholeheartedly believe that. I do carry with me over 2 decades of experience, and as I get into the office, I'll make sure that I'm doing the things I need to be ready for things like budget and administration of the office. But more than anything, I'm looking forward to supporting the amazing work of the attorneys in my office.
You think that doors is a good choice?
One more question. Just following up from Monday. Does your office have any intention on changing the SB 819 or SB 318 agreements that are in place with the 6 cases that were held over?
Well, I'll tell you that I'm going to look carefully at those petitions and make my own decisions. It's one that, because those aren't given out in a way that there's a lot of transparency, I need to actually have the opportunity to look at them carefully and make what I believe are the best decisions for this community, for the victims involved, and from there on.
So you will be reevaluating or taking another look?
Absolutely.
Before they go back to KPTV?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Okay, anybody else? What's the square root of -1?
Couldn't tell you. That's why I went into law.
Thank you. Go enjoy your family, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.